In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Passel Argente for the Revenge of the Sith line. He is the magistrate for the Corporate Alliance. And I'm trying to think what his planet or his home planet is. I think it's Coriva, I think it's called. And the species is Corivar. So he is similar to Cat Min I reviewed previously. He is just a straight repaint from the Geonosis War Room set, or one of the sets. Instead of being in a greenish and dark brown color robes here, he's now in orange for Revenge of the Sith. Personally, I'm a big fan of this action figure. And of course, similar to all the other senators and separatist council I've been reviewing lately, I did get him in 2020. I got most of these all at once. So I have read a little bit about his character before, and he's actually quite an interesting one. Being the head of the Corporate Alliance, obviously he's very good at finance. So it's just interesting reading that perspective in the Star Wars universe. Don't really read about banking and things like that too often for Star Wars. So head sculpt, I think, looks pretty good. Very neutral expression. Not a whole lot to say about it. The paint's alright. They could probably fix his right eye there a little bit, but it's alright. I think it's kind of hidden by his hood here. And it does seem like his hood is a separate piece. But his neck is stationary. And it's almost like it's a separate piece along his shoulders here, but then it's just part of the mold up towards the top of his head. He does have these, wonder if they're horns or something on top of his head. I'm not sure if that's actually part of his head or just part of the hood. It's very interesting details. For the rest of his robes here, there is nice folds and waves to it. Similar to Cat Min, Hasbro did do the lightsaber slash across his chest there, which I think is alright for this action figure as well. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it does kind of blend in just fine. Even on Cat Min, it blends in alright. It's not too noticeable. I imagine most people that want this action figure, the purpose for getting him is to reenact that scene on Mustafar, where he meets Zen, the hands of Lord Vader. But obviously the Attack of Clones version of him does not have that. Robes look pretty good all around. In terms of articulation, he's very basic, so there's nothing in the head at all. As I said, it's stationary, but he does have swivel shoulders and then swivel elbows, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, even the legs are stationary. These type of characters don't need to be super articulated, but it'd be nice to have just a little bit more. Maybe like wrists, maybe just a little bit of leg mobility. But it's alright for what it is. This character you're not going to get into many action poses anyways, just having him stand in the background among your other separatists. So he does not have any accessories except for the display stand. Just for the Mustafar scene. Looks really good. Especially with the orange robes he has. Mixes in with that lava pretty good. But that's really all I can tell you about this guy. We'll do a couple comparisons here. Here he is with Cat Min. They look pretty good together. And just for some extra variety, it's Wat Tambor. And just one more that's associated with him, Pago the Lesser. And they all look pretty good together. That's most of the Separatist Council anyway. Well, Cat Min's technically not, but she's going to be along for the ride because of Shu Mai. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I could tell you about Passel Argente. Would I recommend him for your collection? I'm sure he's not going to be the most sought after action figure out there. You know, come to think of it, I really don't recall Passel or Cat peg warming as bad as some others during the Revenge of the Sith line. Maybe since they were some of the last action figures released, they weren't producing as many quantities. But I recall Tarkin, the Neomodian guard for Mustafar, and like Vader's medical droid, the Pulse Mass, and characters like that peg warming a whole lot more than these two even. But I did see them in retail back in the day. And of course I didn't purchase them at that time. But I've grown to appreciate them over the years. I think they're good action figures. Obviously, if you're a big fan of Separatists, I would say you should have both Cat and Passel in your collections. But he's not the most essential action figure out there. It's basically a statue. But he's good enough to serve his purpose. And I'm glad he's a part of my collection. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.